we were driving trailers that are broken down, needed to be fixed, needed to be serviced. We drove trucks that needed to be fixed. What's up, what's going on, YouTube? I'm back here with another video as usual. Alright, man. So, the last video, I showed you what I do now. I showed you, the things that happen. I didn't necessarily get deep into it on what it is I really do and the position of the job. So I'm going to do that tonight. So I'm a nighttime shuttle driver. And what is that? If you don't know, a nighttime shuttle driver is somebody who drives shuttles at night. Alright, nah, I'm just playing, I'm playing. Alright, so basically what I do is I transport trailer to trailer, load to load, whether it's a loaded trailer or empty trailer. I transport these trailers from terminal to terminal. So some nights some nights I'll go, well, every night I'm in a different state. But for instance, I'll go to a terminal in Massachusetts. Then from Massachusetts, I'll go to another terminal in Connecticut. From Connecticut, I'll go to Maine. From Maine, I'll go to New York, or I'll go back to the yard because the night's over. It's just basically just transporting load to load, trailer to trailer, from terminal to terminal. I don't go to, companies, different other companies, and deliver to them. We don't do that. I strictly stay with the company's terminal. So I'm just seeing my company's terminal every time I go somewhere. Easy money, easy money, easy money. All right, so right now I got a load on my back that I took from the yard. I'm about to drop this load and pick up another trailer. Not sure if it's empty or if it's loaded. I'll find out once I hook to the load to go get the paperwork. All right, man. Let's unhook and hook. Oh yeah, as you guys can see, it's a beautiful night. Well, you just can't feel it. I say beautiful because look how dead it is. It's just dead. I love it like this because I just do what I gotta do and be on my way. It's not like this every place I go, but for the most part, when I come here at this particular place, it is always pretty much like this, where it's not a lot of traffic going on. Like we'll get like a truck every, here and there. Like there's a truck that just went over there, then there'll be a tractor trying to find his trailer. But it's never a lot of traffic where you got to wait behind another truck, or it's never like that here. Well, since I've been coming here, actually, it's never been like that. Where the hell did I put that? All right, that's right there. So, yeah, it's never been like that. Some places, like Newburgh, when I go to Newburgh, that place right there, man, that shit be packed. I'll be just ready to go in. Come on, this shit getting in my way. I'll just be ready to go in, get my paperwork, and go. Because most of the time when I go up there to Newburgh, New York, that shit is packed as fuck. That place gets the most crowded. But for the most part, particularly most places I go at night, empty. And if not empty, barely any traffic. And I like it like that because I just do my job and be on my way with no hurdles, no setbacks. Once in a blue, obviously, there'll be them nights. There'll be them nights where I'll get set back because, they got to do it paperwork more than anything. But so I'm dropping this trailer. If I was dropping this trailer in the door, what they'll have me do is they'll have me deflate my airbags before backing in the door. But since I'm just dropping it here in the yard in a parking spot, I don't have to deflate my airbags. So, yeah. But I am going to walk around and make sure my tires look good. So, anything happen on the way here, at least I could catch it. Yeah. Just make sure everything look good. So I dropped the trailer. I went around to see if I could find that trailer I'm supposed to be taking. I didn't see it where it's supposed to be at. Well, where they said it was supposed to be at. They said it was supposed to be in the yard. I didn't see it in the yard. So I'm going to go around again and I'm going to see if it's in the door. And they're telling me it's in the yard. Because that happened to me before, where I was supposed to be taken out of a door, but it was actually in the yard. Not here though, at another location. So being I know these things happen, To save myself time from going around for a second time, I'll just go around right now to see if it's in any of these doors. And the speed limit, right? The speed limit is 10. Can't go no faster than 10. Oh man, it doesn't look like the trailer's here. So the trailer is definitely not here. So I'm gonna just pull over here and go inside, check in, and see what's going on from this point moving forward, because my trailer, it's not here. When I do get a trailer and I get loaded on my way out, I would park on the other side of the, I'll park right here on that side, and I'll do my, and I'll, you know, if there's not enough space from where I pull out, if I take the trailer from the yard, I just do my pre-trip about that trailer at the yard. But if not, I just pull up on that side. But all right, let me figure this out. I got my paperwork. I got hazardous material on here. So we are hauling hazmat. We're gonna have to placard the trailer, and I gotta go all the way around. I'm getting a whole nother trailer. I knew it. I knew that shit. I knew my trailer was already took because I was late. But nonetheless, let's get it. I knew it. The moment I didn't see my trailer, man, I knew I wasn't taking. I knew that trailer wasn't here. And I'm not gonna, ride around the premises going crazy trying to find a trailer that I know is not here no more. So I'm going in door 67, taken from door 67, not going in. So I'm looking for trailer 9288HX, and I do remember seeing that too. Whenever it's like a double letters or double numbers, it's more memorable. When it's odd, I can forget it easy. And I will have to placard it, whatever how the fuck you say that word. I'm gonna say placard, right? Placard, whatever how you placard it. I mean, I gotta placard it, so we're gonna placard it with some corrosion. And I see my trailer right there. Right here. We're taking this bad boy right here. So I'm pulling out of the door, so I just basically work my way down. I know I'm good because before I came out, I checked my load. It's not a heavy load at all. They still got the gate up. You know what? I'm gonna leave this here because they still got the gate up. He told me it was good. So maybe they gotta add a little more shit in there. I'm not sure. Alright. Sounds like he's inside. So he's closing up. There you go. He closed my door. Now I can remove my wheel chocks. Let's remove it. See? Door shut now. So I don't ever remove my wheel chocks until I know that door shut, because if anything happens, I don't want nothing falling on me, man. I'm still in my probationary period. Yeah, I'm still in my probationary period. The last thing I need to do is make a traumatic mistake. So, again, when I'm pulling out of a door, I work my way down instead of back and forth. I mean, it's not really that serious, but I'm a type of person, I like structure. I like having structure. I like having order. Thanks. But, you know what I mean? That's just what it is and how it goes. And I'm hungry right now, and there's a pilot around the corner. I'm not sure if I want to go there or not, or if I just want to wait. Why is this blue? Yeah, that one's blue. This thing's supposed to be like that. I want to make a mock of that in my DVIR. I mean, it probably doesn't matter for the most part because look how worn it is. You could tell that it's been used for a minute. But the fact that I had this trailer, I'm gonna make a note of it. Fuck that, I'm gonna cover my ass. Cross your T's, dot your I's. All right, let's bang it up. I can hear it. It's gonna be real slow moving up. So I'm gonna wait for like, I don't know, I'm gonna wait for like 2 minutes. I'm gonna document that I have this trailer, document my paperwork and the ELD. By the time I'm done documenting it and everything, that should be a little higher up. And I'm gonna pull out the door and inspect the trailer and secure the load. Okay, so out the door. So we're hauling corrosive. So that's 8. I'm getting familiar with it. 8. So we gotta do this all the way around the trailer. All 4 sides. So as you guys can see, my airbags lifted my trailer. So now I could just bang bang. Check out my tires real quick. I just take a quick glance because I already know what I'm looking for. And I always like to check my tandems to make sure them pins are in because you just never know. You just never know. Good. And the majority of these trailers, they have a mark where they want your rear tires to be when you slide your tandems. So this is where they want the tires to be. Specifically in Connecticut. I was brain fog. Connecticut especially. But this is in the right spot. Whenever I have a trailer and it's not there, I just move it there because I just want to be safe than sorry. And you know, for the next driver. So that looks good. And before I even open it, get that corrosive, black it, and then I open it. So that way I don't open it, shut it, forget it, and walk away. Always make sure I get that first because I don't want to forget it. This load is mad light. 20,000 pound load, 20,648 pounds. Mad light. And of course, I'll forget my lock up front. I gotta go grab that because I have to lock this shit up. I'll grab that after I'm done going around. And we do the same thing to the other side. I look at the tandems. Bow, bow, bow. For the most part though, you guys, this is easy. This is so easy. Like all I'm doing is just dropping and hooking every night. Different terminals. Sometimes I would go to the same terminal, but it would never be like the same exact, night as before. Just check my lines to make sure that it's not dragging or nothing. But for the most part, man, this job is mad easy. I actually like it. I don't dread coming to work like I did my last job. And I also want to talk about that too. Boom. I think this is the first time you guys are seeing me hauling the hazmat. Alright. And I just look at the landing gear legs real quick. And take another look under. And that's pretty much it, man. When it comes to the trailer side. Obviously check the lights. And this is the last placket. But yeah, man, I want to talk too about, my old job. And really tell you guys the real, When I'm working with the company, I can't talk too grimy. I can't talk too grimy, man. So, I had to keep it PG. But now that I'm not there no more, I could let it all out. I gotta get that lock. So I know I told you guys, in a lot of videos on why I wanted to leave, I just wanted to get into a tanker. Obviously, I couldn't jump into a tanker right away because it's hard to find tanker companies who'll take, drivers who aren't fully experienced yet in the tankers. So I settled, I'll stay with dry van until I can find something. But obviously, I was having issues with, the way the company was ran. So this is not in particularly about my old boss. I'm not gonna sit up here and talk bad about my old boss. For the most part, he's a good guy all around. For the most part, obviously, people are different. People have their ways, and people don't always agree with other people's ways and things like that. There was ways about him that I didn't agree with, and for being there for so long, I just found it would have been better of me just leaving. Like I said, it's not about me not liking my old boss or any of that nature. It's just the fact that if I'm gonna be working for a company, I want to feel like the company um, respects my license and looks out and that cares about my safety as well as I care about my safety. And if I don't feel that within the company, I'm not gonna want to be there. So I didn't feel as though that company cared about my safety and respected my license because we were driving trailers that are broken down, needed to be fixed, needed to be serviced. We drove trucks that needed to be fixed. Now don't get me wrong, there's gonna be times where I know I'm gonna have to cut a corner here and there, or I'm gonna have to just thug it out for the time being. I get that, but it can't be an ongoing long-term thing. I shouldn't be pulling trailers for months and months at a time that should have been fixed months ago, or that could have made me get a violation if I got inspected. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of things I was doing, I didn't like, because when I was with Amazon, if there was something going on with my truck or my trailer, I wasn't taking it. If there was something going on with my truck that I didn't feel safe or I didn't feel comfortable, they were swapping me. If there was something going on with my truck that I knew would cause me to get in violation, they were swapping my truck. If I go hook to a trailer and there's something going on with that trailer and the lights don't work, or, there's duct tape on all of the, I don't know. The trailer's lights don't work. It's lines hanging down in the back. I don't want to take it. They won't make me take it. They won't force me to take it. That's because in my mind, they respect my license and they care about my safety. The company I just left, I didn't think that he respected our license and our safety, because we was driving trailers that needed to be fixed all the time. Now, granted, obviously, if a trailer needs to be fixed, it might not could get fixed right there on the spot. I get that, but if I'm constantly taking trailer after trailer after trailer that I know could get me in violation, then that's not a respect for my license and for my safety. It's just not. So, when I first started working there, I was a new truck driver. I was new, bright-eyed, ready. I was with Amazon. Amazon was mad fun. I had so much fun working for Amazon. If you guys go back and you see my beginning when I first started truck driving, you could tell I was having a lot of fun with Amazon. I was having a lot of fun. It was new. It was new. It was easy. I was just dropping hooks. When I got with that company, my last company, when I got with my previous company, I've only been with 2 companies since I had my CDL. Well, this is the 3rd one now. But when I got with my last company, to me, that's when I started to really see what trucking really was. Amazon was just dropping and hooking from terminal to terminal, like what I do now. But it was a little bit different. Even for what I'm doing right now, it still was a little bit different. It was like a cakewalk. It was like a cakewalk. When I got to the company I was with, previously, regional, that was like that was like prime time. So I went from cakewalk to prime time. So I really got to see what trucking was about. I got to be around other truck drivers who were actually, driving over the road, seeing what the life is like. I had to stop at way stations and I got inspected. I had my first inspection after like almost 2 years of being on the road. I finally had got an inspection. Well, no, let me stop lying. After a year, it was a year. But nonetheless, what I'm saying is, I was seeing what it was about, trucking. Then I started meeting drivers. Then they started telling me about, being a rookie, working for other companies. Then I started to realize my worth because now, I have all my endorsements. Now I got, 2 years and 2 years of skin in the game. Ain't all that much, but it's enough where now I could leverage, I could have leverage when I'm looking for a company, right? And then a lot of things was just coming to me. I'm like, man, a lot of things just started to hit me. I'm like, man, when I first got on with this company, I was a rookie. I didn't know any better. Now things are starting to make more sense to me. I'm starting to make sense with a lot of things. I'm like, yo, I kind of got, I got used. I got used. I was a rookie coming from a company, Amazon, dropping, hooking, only 6 months on the road. My previous company knew I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know much about what I was doing. I just knew how to drive. As long as I knew how to drive, that was good enough for him. So I got used. Yes, I did. I got used. I got ran, and I got used. And I got over on. I did. I got over on. But like I said, as time went by, I started to realize stuff. And I wasn't having it anymore. So I was already planning my exit. On top of the fact that, the equipment, it's constantly being broken down and we're constantly being told we have to still run regardless. And on top of that, I already wanted to leave anyway to find a tanker company I could go work with. So those were my 3 reasons I was really trying to leave anyway. Because number one, I realized I'm not a rookie anymore. I realized, this company was just to really basically show me what it really was like to, out there on the road, to get that real experience. Because yeah, if I would have stayed with Amazon for like 2 years, that to me, that wouldn't have been no real experience of a truck driver, because I probably might not would have been got inspected, probably might have not had to get on the scales, because the way they planned the routes and the night and the hours I was driving, I never had to go through a weigh station or a scale, none of that. So they have it set up to where I think they avoid, I don't know. But either way, I wouldn't have really knew a lot of stuff about how it really is on the road if it wasn't from being with the previous company. So he already knew that. I was inexperienced. I didn't have no idea what it was really like. He knew that. So I was used. I was gonna say that. So I was used as the rookie. So once I woke up from that, oh yeah, I was like, it's time to go. I can't be used anymore, because I was still being used until I woke up. I'm like, oh shit, I'm still being used. Woke up, not anymore. The equipment, a lot of the equipment is shitty. I felt like I'm no longer putting my license at risk for a job. The job, it's not worth it anymore to me. I'm not making enough money, to where I could risk it. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, you shouldn't risk your license anyway, but damn, at least pay me good if I'm going to be risking my license, It just wasn't worth the risk, The constant problems with the trailers and the constant problems with, the truck, and always having to try to cut a corner and be sneaky and shit, putting my license at risk. I wasn't feeling that, so I knew I had to go too. I knew I had to go from there. Again, I don't want to sit here and make this a bashing about the owner. It's not about that. It's just about my experience with a company and why I left, and that's why I left. The money too, wasn't getting paid that much. Again, as a rookie, I thought I was getting paid a lot of money. What time is it? I got 9 minutes until my break is over. As a rookie, I thought I was getting paid a lot of money because I came from Amazon. I was only getting paid $800 every 2 weeks. Yeah. So when I was with Amazon, I was getting paid $800 every 2 weeks. And that shit was whack. So I go to Amazon and get paid $800 every 2 weeks to a company that I was just with. I don't want to keep saying that company. To my previous company, I jumped to them, and now I'm getting like almost $400 more dollars. Yeah, so I'm getting like 400 to 600 more dollars, depending on how much I work. To me, that was a big jump. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do this. I need to get this. And you know what? I could say it. I'm not there no more. I was only getting between 12 and 14, 15 on a good week, and that was rare because there was no overtime after 40 hours. That was another thing too. There was no overtime after 40 hours, and the pay sucked. The pay sucked. And when I wasn't promised, but I was told the first time I tried to leave my last job, I did try to leave, and he told me if I stuck around, the raise is coming. I asked him how much am I gonna get paid for the raise? $1 raise. I said, you know what? I'm already here for a little long. I'm already here. I can't find a taker company. I'll stick around a little bit longer. $1 raise is right around the corner. I stuck around. Didn't get the $1 raise. I only got a 75-cent raise. Me and all the other guys too. We only got a 75-cent raise. Like I said, I wasn't promised $1 raise. But the fact that we talked and you told me face to face that it was $1 raise and you only give me 75, I felt played. You know what I'm saying? I felt played. So like I said, that ties into what I was saying earlier. It's just I felt like I was used and played. I got played. So anyways, man, yeah. So as a rookie, go from one pay to another pay. To me, that was a lot. I'm like, oh man, I'm getting paid mad good. But again, as time go by, you start learning about the industry. You start learning more about trucking, how it is, how it's done, how you get paid. Blase, what, I'm like, man, I got all my endorsements. I now got over 2 years under my belt. I don't have to settle for this company I'm with. I think I might have stayed a little bit too long. Yeah, it's too hot. It's too loud out there. It's kind of hot. I'm like, man, I kind of stayed a little bit too long. I started seeing the figures I could make with all these different companies who I qualify for. I said, you know what? I know tankers is going to happen. I'm going to speak that into existence. Tankers is going to happen. I'm going to find a tanker job. It just happened not to be right now. But I have to get up out of here. I have to get up out of here. So you know what? I'm going to just start applying to all these companies that are paying good that I think I want to take a chance with. So I was applying to multiple companies here and there. Got calls here and there. Was weighing out my options between these companies that I did apply for, which most of them I turned down. I turned down most of the companies I applied for. One turned me down, and that's because after all the situations, they realized I was too far, which was stupid because you made me go through a drug test, a background check. You made me do all this just to say, oh yeah, by the way, you're too far. Stupid. But either way, then I found the company I'm with now. Again, I don't like talking about how much I get paid because that's personal. My relationships, how much I get paid, those are the type of things I don't like talking about. I keep that private. And once, I just keep stuff like that private. But let's just say this. I'm making way more than I was making at regional. Way more. And I'm like, damn, I've been missing out on this all this time. All right, for instance, last week I had to be out. I had something I had to deal with. I had to be out for a day. So when I got paid this week, my direct deposit, when I looked at my check, it was still more than what I got paid at regional on a regular week. It was still more. That's how much more I get paid now. I was fucking missing out. I'm like, damn, I'm missing out. I got my endorsement. I could be using this endorsement towards another job, getting paid more. I get paid more and I'm home every night and I'm doing less. I'm no longer stressed. The job was stressing me out, man. It was stressing me out. I wasn't happy there anymore. Like, look, there's always gonna be stories about a good company and a bad company. I'm not gonna say it was a bad company because it really wasn't like it was a bad company. I just wasn't agreeing with how the company was ran. I don't agree with how I had to perform, if that makes any sense. Again, I felt used, underpaid from my qualifications now. Now, I was there 2 years. I wasn't there 2 years. I was there a year and a half. And I felt like in a year and a half with all my endorsements and, barely missed a day. Like, I only missed a day maybe once for being sick. And I'm being straight serious. Any other day I missed, it was only probably because it was from the weather or because my truck was down and there was no other truck for me to take. I don't miss days. I don't like missing out on my money. But I was unhappy there. Shit was stressing me out, man. I was getting stressed, depressed even. Like, it was draining into my personal life. I had to get out of there. And then on top of that, I just had things I wanted to do outside of trucking, which I'm finally doing. Finally got the time and space to do it. Now, it's a little bit different because I'm working overnight. I'm driving overnight. So my time is a lot different now than it was when I was, at my previous company. But I got the same days off, and I got time. I don't have to stay out overnight in a hotel, a raggedy ass rinky dink hotel. I go home every day. So what time is it? I got a couple of minutes. I go home every day. So I'm happy about it. All in all, that's why I decided to leave. I just knew I could do better. Wasn't in agreement with how, us drivers had to run. Wasn't getting paid enough. There was just a sale in there too. I didn't think I would ever get paid more if I stuck around even longer. Probably wouldn't have got paid a lot more. And the equipment, the shitty equipment, man. But all in all, I do appreciate him, the owner, giving me a chance because I was a rookie. I didn't know what I was doing like that. He almost got rid of my ass in the beginning because I didn't know what I was doing. But he's not a bad he's not a bad person. But I'm gonna keep it real and talk about my experience at that company. I would never look back. I don't look back to begin with, but if for any reason I needed a job, I would never call him to ask for a job there. It's just not worth it for me. It got that bad for me. I'm not saying it was bad because one's experience might not be mine. But I'll tell you this: another driver also left for some of the same reasons. Um, Shit, I don't want to throw it out there. I wasn't gonna say nobody's name or none, but yeah, I'm not the only one, man. But it is 29 minutes left. This is my Samsara device. Oh shit, my Samsara device. Once we get to drop this trailer, I'm headed back to the yard. By the way, being late to pick up this load threw my night off. But anyways, long story short, once I drop this off, I'm gonna talk to y'all about this Samsara and them cameras that be looking at my handsome face. All right, I'm gonna clock back in. See y'all in a minute. So I do have 3 cameras. So I have a camera that's on the outside of this door. Then there's a camera that's on the outside of the passenger door. And then we have a camera right in the front that sees in cab and outward. The ones that are on the side, those are just for the sides. That's it. And there's also a camera in the back of each trailer. This right here, you can see, when this is turned on, you can see both sides and you can see the back of your trailer. The camera that's in front, that's an end cab, it's not on recording 24/7. From what I was told during orientation, it's not recording everything you do, but I mean, like in that very moment, it's taking pieces it needs, like hard braking, in and out of lanes, stuff like that. So I'm not, you don't gotta be too worried about, the inward facing cameras. Well, I know I'm not really worried at all like that because it's not like I do stuff that it's gonna have me be like, yo, what are you doing? You're doing what you do. Why you doing that while driving? So I could care less about the inward facing cameras. Yeah, I would rather not have it, but it is what it is. Yeah. So the Samsara, this is Samsara. It has the app right there. So basically, it tracks how fast you be driving. It tracks your speed. It tracks, if you be in and out of lanes. It tracks how long you idle the truck. It just basically monitors everything the truck is doing. Basically, it's basically a truck monitor. It's not necessarily monitoring you per se. It's the truck monitor. But basically, you're the operator of the truck, so obviously, it's still you. But you get what I'm saying. It's monitoring how you're operating the truck. So if you're doing 70 miles per hour, 75, well, this truck don't go that fast anyway. This truck stops at 68. Yes, I go 75 if I'm going downhill. But on average, 68 miles per hour, I'm fine. If I'm going 75, the Samsara is going to record that and it's going to tell me, that's going to come on and it's going to tell me reduce my speed. It's going to record every time that happens. And let's say that happens let's say it happens once every day let's say it happens once every day. that's when it's possible they could reach out to me, give me a call. Hey, what's going on? We've been noticing you've been speeding, and it resolves the issue there. You ain't gonna get fired for that, but they're gonna talk to you obviously because you're speeding. Or let's say like, they notice you swerve in and out of lanes a lot, and they notice there's so many notifications of you swerving in and out of lanes. Or they notice that you're idling the truck for way too long on what it should, because they don't like you idling the truck for too long. Let's say you idle in the truck for way too long, and it's, hey, we noticed that you idle the truck for too long. Just be memorable of whatever they want to say. It's just their protocol. It's just what they do. I've been now driving with these guys for what, 3 weeks, I believe. The end of this week, I think we'll make a month. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it'll make either a month. Yeah, I've been driving with them. Yeah, for a month, and so far I can tell they're not monitoring me, because if they were, I would have been got the call or been called in the office and got talked to, because in the beginning, it's a new truck. It takes some time to get used to. I'm not used to driving a Peterbilt. The Peterbilt is this Peterbilt particular one. It's long in the front, and it's real tight driving when you're turning. When you're backing, you're turning, or you're turning regularly, so it's real tight. So it's a little challenging driving. Not challenging, but it's a little stiff driving these Peterbilts. So it's taking getting used to. So I was in and out of lanes, trying to get used to this truck, and I sped a little bit. But nonetheless, guys, I'm gonna end the video right here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I got more coming to you. Stay tuned. See you in the next one.